Welcome to 89.7 Contact FM. The show you are listening to is One on One. My name is Eugene Anangwe. Albert is telling me that this is a new variable 102 and not one-on-one, because I'm having two guests right here on the show, and they're very key young people in Rwanda's growth, very key young people in terms of Rwanda's leadership, and of course they were given the mandate to represent you as a young person in Rwanda's parliament. It's none other than Justine, Mukobwa and Philbert Uwiringiyimana. Thank you very much for joining me on One-on-One.
Thank you.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. Many people have been wondering, who are these youth representatives in parliament? What is their responsibility? What are they supposed to be doing? What are they doing? So basically we'll start with you, Mukobwa Justine. Probably if you can just explain to us, what is the mandate of a youth member of parliament or a representative of the youth in parliament?
Thank you very much. The mandate of youth in the parliament it's not a bit different from other members of parliament. Mandate is the same, just as advocacy for people, putting and voting laws, and also government oversight. But generally, specifically, the youth representatives, they go deep in those mandates, but specifically looking on what benefiting youth. Yeah.
So Philbert, as she says, the mandate is the same as other MPs, putting and voting in laws, and of course advocating for issues specifically pertaining to youth affairs. As we speak today, how many laws have you been able to bring to Parliament that look at the issues of the youth affairs?
Thank you. As my colleague said, the parliament, Rwandan parliament has mandate. The three mandates has already been talked about.
Yes.
And the first mandate is to create laws, different laws. So laws are created by different organs. First, it's initiated by the government, or it can be initiated by the group of members of parliament.
Yes.
And it can be also initiated by the one member of parliament. As we, as members of parliament representing youth, we can't do ourselves as members in particular. We do jointly with the others, with the other members of parliament. For instance, when we talk about the registration, when we talk about the initiation of different laws, it means that we as members of parliament, we should engage youth in a discussion in this different project of laws.
So you say you should engage the youth in these different discussions, but most of the young people I've talked to, most of the people who have even been on one-on-one, say that they don't even know you guys. They don't even see you guys. Some, if you ask them your names, they will not even know. So how do you relate with them? How do you engage with them, Justine?
Yes.
How do you engage with the young people? Yet most of them say they don't even know you guys.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure the youth you met, but I'm not even 100% sure that every youth in Rwanda can be getting to know me, because I have already 1 year in the parliament. Normally what we do, we meet different youth groups in different areas and different districts. You may meet one whom I have never met yet, but I think I have met a big number. And secondly, we are not voted by all the youth.
The people,
we were not
yes.
elected by all youth. We were elected by youth representatives. So we try to make sure that we reach very far to many whom we can. So we still have 4 years.
So you've been there for 1 year.
Yes.
Could you be able to highlight one or two major things that probably you have contributed to as far as youth affairs are concerned?
Yes. In this year,
Yes.
we've already voted for the budget year 2014 and 2015.
So what was your voice there as a person representing
Of course,
the young
yes.
people? What was your voice? What
Our
did
voice was to check in all the budget we were passing
Mm.
before the parliamentarians.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that they have also thought about the youth?
Mm-hmm.
Have they thought about the projects? Are the policies that are there being financed? So we try to check all over
Yes.
in
So let
different
me,
ministries, and
yes.
I'm sure it made
met
an
those
impact.
eyes.
Yes.
Let me ask Philbert. So, as she mentions the issue of the budget, how does this budget, consider the young people's needs in this country?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to emphasize on the process of the budget. Budget is voted and to respond to the policy, to the national policy. So there is a national policy for the youth development. There are different programs to develop young people. There are too many projects to develop,
which are being done by other people,
which are being done by the government.
By the government,
yes.
But when the government is doing this, many people want to also see you actively, because we see the Ministry of Youth. That's a government organ. We see like the Youth Council or the National Youth Council. That's another entity. But we rarely hear about the youth representatives in Parliament.
Yeah. I'd like to remind people that in Rwanda we have different powers. There is executive powers, legislative powers, and the judiciary power. So each power has its own mandate. So the Ministry of Youth has its mandate, and then the Parliament has its mandate. So for us is to control, oversight the different policy engaging the youth. So as members of Parliament, we should make sure that all of the policy of the youth policy is being done or is being implemented by different organs.
So you're like a watchdog. Are you trying to say that you're like a watchdog? You check and put those organs in check when it comes to dealing with youth issues. Is that what you're saying is your role?
Yeah.
And also
Is the first mandate of the Parliament is to control these different programs. So, as members of Parliament, we contribute in different debates, in different programs to give them our input in order to help to the development of this program, of different programs, and to visit different groups of youth, and in order to know their thoughts, in order to know their points of view.
So you've been meeting different groups of young people, to tell them and get to listen to what they need to be able to survive.
Yeah.
So Justine, could you be able to tell me briefly some of those young people that you've been able to meet? What has been the emerging issues from them, and what has been done, or what have you contributed to doing to deal with those issues that they raise?
Thank you. The most burning issue outside here among the youth is unemployment. And it's very common, not only in Rwanda, all over the African continent, and even all over the world. So when we are meeting those challenges, when we hear from them, it's common to each and everyone. But because youth are constituting like 78% of the Rwandan population, it sounds as if it's only youth who are lacking jobs. And it's true. If the whole population, they are constituting 78, and of course the country, the Rwanda is not able to give jobs to each and everyone, it may sound somehow not so pleasing to the youth. But what the government tries to do it puts there some platforms and other programs and policies that can favor youth to be creating their own jobs. Though not yet effective, but some who have already engaged in, they are trying to be improved on. So on my role, or the role of MPs, we try to check out to see all those problems, and we meet the policies. We find, is this really responding to what the youth needs?
Mm-hmm.
So far, during our mandate, there's something that has been initiated by the Ministry of Labour,
Mm-hmm.
what we call National Employment Program.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the budget has been already passed on.
Mm-hmm.
National Employment Program is a program that is there to benefit the youth, all the people who don't have employment. But we know that youth are the ones benefiting more because they are constituting the highest percentage.
Yes, but when we talk of these initiatives, the challenge that comes out is that, most of the time I meet with officials or leaders who have a say in some of these initiatives. They would tell you of such kind of initiatives, but when you go on the ground, you'll find that there is little awareness, there is little campaign from those who are in position to campaign or to create awareness on this kind of issues. So don't you feel that that's where you two come in order to come down to the people and make sure that they understand fully these initiatives and take advantage of them?
Sure, it's very nice and good, but it needs so many stakeholders. If the programs are there, if the policies are well, there are all many programs that can benefit the youth, but we, the beneficiaries, we don't know, it's a big challenge. So it brings in media, it brings in government, it brings in members of parliament and the youth representatives everywhere to explain, to do many campaigns, and it has been started. To tell the youth that this is here, we have BDF, we have National Employment Program, we have to engage in such kinds of projects. Mm. They are there for you. Mm. So that's the battle we are fighting now, to let people know what's there on the ground.
Mm. I will beg to differ on that in terms of everybody knowing, because I'm sure there are a few out there who may not be able to know these projects. But let's compare how it works in other countries, the issue of being a member of parliament and the voting process, how you get to be a member of parliament. Most of these East African countries, people go out to campaign, people go out to sell their manifestos, people go out to compete to get that chance to be a representative of a certain group. But here, probably explain to me, Philbert, like a standard 2-year-old child, how does it work here? And looking at how it works here, don't you think that it disconnects you with the population or the group or the constituency that you need to represent?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to express this. Each country has his own manner to manage his people.
Obviously, yes.
Mm-hmm. So these different countries, especially the countries you mentioned, has its own history, has its own social problems, has its own economic problems. So it means that the legislation of how people vote their representatives or how people vote their leaders depends on how this depends on how the superstructure of the country is built. So it means that the legislation for Rwanda in terms of voting, it refers to the problems of the country. It refers to the history of Rwanda.
Yes.
And then I think when people find that the problems which has been realized in Rwandan history or in different country, when people realize that there is no problem, then we can move
to another
issue.
Yes, but
according
then
to the recent problems.
Yes, why I asked that question is the issue of accessibility. Most people or most young people have been able to talk to, apart from feeling that they don't get to know you guys or feeling that they don't even know you guys, they also feel like you guys are so disconnected with them. You're so not accessible. Probably, Justine, could you explain that? What could you tell them?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm accessible enough to youth. As long as I'm representing them, I'm ever there for them, unless I'm very busy at work, but they are free to contact each and every one of us. Yes.
How many times have you appeared on radio or TV to talk about youth issues, Philbert?
I think we have
This year?
This year, I can't count this because I have different journalists who come to me and to ask to give my interview. Then people can hear me from the different radios. So I've gone to the Rwanda TV, RTV, and I think we had even the interview with international radios.
Talking about what?
Talking about different youth issues and my role as members of parliament representing youth in promoting these different activities, promoting youth. So I think even today, it's our opportunity to tell to the different youth about the youth issues, and then I think this is the first year, and it remains about 4 years. It means that we have planned how to reach different districts, how to reach different groups of youth as we member of parliament. So I think that 4 years left, we'll reach different youth groups, and we'll reach in different districts, in all districts, and I think we discuss with different youth, and they'll give us their points
of view on some of the problems that they're facing. As we finish off this session on one-on-one, probably the message that is being sent when we have these kind of comments coming through is that you need to touch base, you need to relate with not just the youth in the Mudugudu level, but also the modernized young people who, may feel like probably you're leaving them out, yet they also have issues. Probably need to work on a creative way of, mobilizing them, of being there, of being initiators, and not waiting for members of the press to call you to go and explain these things. You need to take the first step, not to wait for that reporter to come and interview you. Probably you need to come with initiatives of, getting in touch and getting involved with the people on the grassroots level. Justine?
I think it's very good. It's good to come on the media and talking about some youth issues, but also it's good to find them on the grassroots, which we have been doing. Finding them on the grassroots, you talk to them, you share their views and ideas, and also to meet those modernized youth who are ever on different social media and also on media, press.
Are you on Twitter?
Yes.
How many followers do you have?
I don't know really. I have not counted so far.
Okay, and you?
Yes.
Philbert, you're on Twitter?
Yeah.
How many followers?
I have about 400.
What's your handle?
Uwiringiyimana P. Just follow us.
Uwiringiyimana P.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just confirm how many followers you have and when your last tweet was tweeted.
I think the last day was yesterday.
You have 249 followers and 403 tweets. I see you're a bit active there. And what about you, Justine? What's your handle? Are you on Twitter?
That's it.
Are you on Twitter really?
I'm there.
What's your
but
handle?
I don't normally tweet enough.
But you said you are engaging the urbanized youth in social media platforms.
Yeah, he normally use other kinds of social media.
Like WhatsApp.
Definitely.
Okay. So I think it's time for us to wrap the show at this particular point. Maybe I'll just give you 1 second or two each to just probably clear the air on this issue of you guys not being able to be out there. For those who have those doubts, for those who feel like these guys are not doing anything, for those who have doubts that these guys are even representing us as young people, probably one word for them, Justine, and then Philbert, then we close.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great pleasure for us to be here and for them to hear us that we are here and we are there for them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would like to tell my fellow youth, I'm available.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm accessible, I'm available, I'm at the parliament, I'm with youth in the districts.
Mm-hmm.
Please, sometimes when I go to the districts, I don't find the youth there. They make sure also they are available to us also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you follow them where they are.
I follow them and then they follow me also.
Philbert.
Well, thank you. I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to have discussion like this.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'd like to express to the youth that we are a human being like others.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we may have some weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to tell them that we are ready.
Okay.
We're ready. We are here for them. We are here for them. So we'll be happy to listen to them, their point of view, and we'll be happy to be with them, to come to them. And I think I'd like to tell them that they are free
To get in touch with you.
to get me. They are ready to get my colleague. So we are here for them. They voted us in order to represent them. So, and we are ready to listen to their advices in order to enhance our responsibility as members of parliament.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Justine and Honorable Philbert, for being on One. And this is where we draw the curtains to the show. And of course, you can continue following us on Twitter at Radio Contact FM. You can follow me at Eugene Anangwe. The hashtag is simple. You need to hashtag 101RW, and let's keep the conversation going on. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now.